We've all seen them, those stray cats that wander through our neighborhoods. And our first instinct, right? It's always to help. But what if our best intentions aren't actually leading to the best outcomes? Well, today, we're going to dig into that.
So picture this. You look out your window, and there's a cat in your yard. It's a classic dilemma, isn't it? You get that immediate pull. You want to do something. But what exactly is the right thing to do? It's a question that so many of us, especially if we already love and own cats, have asked ourselves.
All right, so let's talk about those common instincts. What are the solutions that usually pop into our heads first?
For most of us, the playbook is pretty simple. Option 1, try to catch the cat, get it in a carrier, and take it to a shelter. And option 2, which has gotten super popular, is Trap-Neuter-Return, TNR. On the surface, they both seem like really responsible, humane choices.
But here's the thing we're really going to tackle. What if those go-to methods aren't really a solution? At least, not for that one specific cat you're trying to help. What if, sometimes, they actually lead to an outcome we never, ever intended?
Let's kick things off with TNR. It's often held up as this amazing, humane solution. But let's take a closer look at what it really does for an individual cat. Okay, so look at this contrast, because it's pretty stark. The goal of TNR is totally legit. It's a large-scale tool to help manage and reduce the number of community cats over time. But the reality for that one single cat that gets trapped, fixed, and then put right back where you found it? Well, it doesn't solve its daily problems. That cat is still hungry, it's still facing dangers, it's still out in the cold. So TNR stops them from having kittens, but it doesn't actually rescue them.
And this really gets to the heart of it. If you really truly care about the well-being of that one cat in front of you, TNR probably shouldn't be the first thing you try. The best first response, the ideal solution, should always be trying to bring that cat indoors to a safe, warm home.
So if TNR isn't always the answer, what about those cats that shelters decide are unadoptable? That brings us to another popular idea, barn placement programs. I mean, it sounds kind of nice, right? A cat gets a new job on a farm? But let's really peel back the layers on this one.
Wow, the source material uses this phrase to describe most barn placements, and it's a real gut punch. Abandonment with PR. It just forces you to stop and ask, are we really helping? Or are we just moving a problem somewhere else so we don't have to see what happens next? And this table just lays it out so clearly. Think about it. A cat that's used to a suburban neighborhood, it knows about cars, it knows the local dogs, but it also knows where 5 different people leave out food and where all the best hiding spots are. Now, you take that same cat and drop it in a rural barn. Suddenly, it's facing predators it's never seen, like hawks and coyotes. Food is scarce, and all the good safe spots are probably already claimed by other, more territorial cats. It's a completely different and, honestly, a much deadlier world for them.
And this isn't just a theory. The source shared this just heartbreaking story. 3 calico cats, who were actually pretty socialized, not even what you'd call feral, were placed at a barn. They were shy but friendly. By the middle of that first winter, all 3 of them were gone. Just gone. Now, it's not like a barn placement can never work, but for it to have a real shot, the stars basically have to align. The cat needs to be truly, deeply unsocialized. The barn owner has to be super dedicated, providing food and actual shelter every single day. The cat needs a long time, like 6 to 8 weeks, to get used to the place. And maybe most importantly, someone has to actually follow up and make sure the cat is okay. I mean, how often do all of those things really happen? Yeah, not very often.
This brings us to a really important shift in how we think. Maybe the problem isn't just the systems we've created, but the labels we put on the cats themselves. What if we stop thinking of them as feral or broken, and we start trying to understand who they really are? Okay, let's talk about Pete. Here's his story. A shy cat gets adopted by a woman, and he totally bonds with her. I mean, he adores her. But he wants absolutely nothing to do with her boyfriend. The boyfriend gets frustrated, he even gets scratched, and finally he just says, that's it, this cat has to go back. It's such a common clash of expectation. But here's the amazing part. Instead of giving up on Pete, his person came up with this brilliant creative solution. They adopted a second cat, one that was super outgoing and social. And just like that, the new cat gave the boyfriend all the cuddles and attention he wanted, which took all the pressure off Pete. Pete was free to just be himself and keep that special bond with the woman he trusted. Everybody won. So maybe we need a whole new definition here. A shy cat isn't broken. A shy cat is an expert people watcher. They are masters at figuring out who is safe, who is patient enough, and who is going to respect their need for space.
And that's really why the successful adoptions of shy cats almost always come down to the person. It works when the adopter just gets it. They let the cat set the timeline. They're cool with the fact that the bond might just be with one person. They're willing to get creative, and they value that unique relationship enough to put in the work.
Okay, so we've busted some myths, we've reframed the problem. So what can you, as someone who loves cats, actually do about it? Let's get into some clear, direct actions.
If you find a stray, it doesn't have to feel like this huge, overwhelming thing. You can start small. Seriously, in just 5 minutes, you can snap a photo and post it on a local lost pet page. If you have an hour, you can try to see if it has a microchip. And if you have a day, you can set up a little safe space in a bathroom and call a vet. The whole point is to give that cat a shot at an indoor life, not just to immediately send it back out there.
And for those of us who already have cats living in our homes, this is maybe the most powerful plea from the source material. Simply make room for one more.
And making room doesn't necessarily mean you're signing up for another cuddly lab cat. It just means offering a safe place to land. It means one more food ball on the floor, a little more litter to scoop, but in exchange for that, a cat gets to go from a life of constant fear and danger to a life where it's safe and warm and fed. You're not just getting another pet, you are literally saving a life.
And you can have an impact even beyond your own four walls. Just changing your language. Stop saying feral. Start asking rescues tough questions about their programs. Throw your support behind those small foster-based groups that do the slow, difficult work of socializing scared cats. Every conversation you have is a chance to help someone else see things differently.
So let's end right where we started, with that cat in your yard. But maybe now the question you ask yourself is a little different. Is that cat really feral, some wild problem that needs to be managed? Or is it just a scared, lonely domestic animal, waiting for someone with a little patience to finally give it a chance?